Hello everyone, this is Manish Chauhan from Jagoinvestor.com. I have with me Sagar Maheshwari from my team, and today we are going to discuss buying second home as investment. So we are going to talk about various aspects related to this. We will see when to do it, when to not do it, what are the pros and cons, what are the positive points, what are the negative points. So we'll keep this discussion very informal, okay? So Sagar, what is the first thought which comes to your mind? Do you see a lot of clients doing this? Can you share your experience in dealing with clients and how they think about this point, buying second home as investment? So just to give you a background, a lot of people have been investing in mutual funds with us. They are doing their wealth creation. So they start somewhere, they have few lakh rupees, 2 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakhs, and from there they start their wealth creation journey. In few years they create a sizable corpus, and then in their mind I think this starts, right? They should buy a second house. So yes, Sagar, so you share more on this. What do you see?
So what I've seen with clients is that as soon as they accumulate a good corpus of, let's say, 40-50 lakhs, the first thing which starts coming to their mind is of buying another real estate.
Yes.
They don't think about is it required in their life or not, but what they just think is that yes, now they have a good chunk where they can use it, and the first thing which comes to their mind to use is the real estate. So a lot of people, even when their first home is there and even the loan is going on, still they want to go for a second home, just I think because they feel that sense of security more into the real estate thing. And that also comes, I think, because of the sole, I think major reason is because real estate as an asset class is known to everyone. They know, they have been seeing it, they can feel it compared to any other asset class, especially equities.
And I think there is too much history also in real estate. Like we have heard about too many success stories.
Yes.
Like we have heard a lot of people have bought a house at some location at this price, and it has increased by 10 times over last 10-20 years. Someone bought a plot or someone bought a house and now it is in crores.
Yes.
So this excites people, and they also project the same story for themselves, that if we do this, if I buy a house right now, maybe in future it will be worth crores.
Yes.
Right? This is what happens. And so when you are sharing this point, I was also hearing that somewhere people see real estate as the end goal. I mean, if they have done a fixed deposit, if they have some money in their bank account, if they have some money in let's say mutual fund, it's not the final thing. Eventually they feel इस पैसे का तो मुझे बाद में कुछ करना है.
Yes.
So it's not the destination. It's always the, what do you say? It's like it's a process of creating money to do something at the end.
Yes.
That is how they see it.
Yes. And real estate people, I think, also what they do is they think is that real estate is a source of income generation also via rent.
Yes.
So they think that if they buy another real estate, so one they have already bought, which they are using for, let's say, self-consumption.
Yes.
The second, they usually buy to generate a regular income for them. So which in some ways is right also. Yes, that the real estate generates a good rental income.
Correct.
It can generate a continuous rental income, and especially once you retire, it can help you a lot in taking care of a good part of your expenses. But
Correct.
the other point which comes is that, which they don't consider, is that will that income be generated for a regular period or not? So I think that is one of the major points which is there.
Yeah, so very good point. Let us spend some more time on this, because I think this is the crux. Most of the people, even some of the people with whom I have interacted, I have seen people live in this fancy thought. It's like an imaginary world, because they have not done it in past. They feel that okay, I have let's say 30-40 lakh rupees with me. Let's buy another real estate at some location. उसको rent पे दे देंगे. We'll give it on rent and we'll start earning a second income.
Yes.
this is how they think about it. But this is more of concentrating on the good part too much.
Yes.
But there are a lot of issues related to it. There are a lot of challenges. There are a lot of other aspects which they don't think about.
Yeah.
Okay. If I give you an example, one of my own relatives, they have bought a second house. They live in Mumbai. They have a second house here in Pune, and right now what is happening is every 6 to 7 months they have to change the tenant. They have to come here to do the paperwork. A lot of times it happens that the house is vacant 2 to 3 months or 4 months. Okay, they don't keep the house clean, and these are the real issues. And now they are feeling अरे यार like लेते समय इतना सोचा नहीं था कि इतना होगा. लेते समय तो सोचा था कि we'll buy it and वो रेंट पे होगा और हमको तो हर मंथ 15-20,000 जो भी वो आता रहेगा.
Yes.
Okay. So now this I'm not saying that this doesn't work always. Sometimes when you buy this second home at a place where let's say a IT area, it's near an IT park, or there's a lot of opportunities, like there's a lot of demand.
Yeah.
In that case, this can work because it will not happen that your house is vacant for too much time.
Yes.
And you can also command a good rent.
Yes.
So in some situations it will work, but I think most of the times people buy a second house and they get stuck with it. And it is also illiquid. So I think you can talk a little bit on
yes, and adding to that also, even what I think we are trying to communicate also is not just that it's not a good idea, it's just that if somebody is trying to buy it, they should consider these points, I think majorly.
Yes.
Not just the good points, they should also know that these bad points. You give a very good example that someone bought it and they don't consider these things, real issues which are there. They have to pay the maintenance. Every 4 to 5 years they have to repaint the house. Any damages which are there, they have to take care of that also. So yeah, that is I think one thing.
Correct.
And yes, as you said, the liquid asset which is a very big problem with real estate, that it is not it's not highly liquid. We can liquidate it, but it takes a lot of time. You have to see if you find the right buyer. Then it's a long process. It's not easy to do it in the next 1 week.
One of our clients itself, he wanted to sell his house.
Yeah.
And it took around 3 years to find the right buyer. I mean, if he wants to sell at any price, obviously you'll get the buyer. But if you want the right price, a price which you feel is the right for house, it can take a very long time to find the buyer. Okay.
Exactly.
And a lot of people just feel okay, I'll buy a second house, and after 5 years when the prices increase, I'll sell the house and I'll make some profit. Now this is a very simplistic way of looking at it. In real life it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Okay? So because there are so many projects being launched, there are new houses. Why will someone buy your house at that time when you need the money at the price which you want?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen like that. Okay.
And also what I've seen is that real estate, sometimes people also associate it with some goal which they have, and they don't really understand it, that the liquidating, as we are talking about it, the liquidity of the real estates, that it is not very highly liquid. Okay. So if a goal is there, you should always associate something which is highly liquid, or if your goal is coming, you should start liquidating the real estate at least 3 to 4 years before that.
Definitely, you should start thinking.
Yeah.
Like if your goal is in 2025, and if you start thinking about it in December 2024, obviously it is very liquid. You will not get the money. You should start thinking of selling it in 2022, I would say.
Yeah.
Take the money, shift it in a debt fund or FD or whatever it is, but don't wait for the last minute.
Exactly. So that is something which people don't consider. So I think if they are associating it for, let's say, the child education goal or any other goal, they should plan it in advance to sell it off and take the money in their hand so that they can get the right price.
Correct. There is one more aspect which I want to discuss, that is cash flow. Like we have often seen that a lot of people, when they are paying their first EMI, like for the EMI of their first house, if they are in a comfortable situation, if they feel कि नहीं मेरे पास अभी भी 30, 40, 50,000 का surplus है, they feel that I'll buy a second house because I can handle it right now. But once they do it, after few months or maybe after a year, they find themselves in a situation where they have overcommitted.
Yeah.
Their EMI burden is very very high, which they had not visualized in the start, and they feel very stressed. Just imagine someone is earning, let's say, 1.5 lakh rupees. For example, just giving an example. The first house EMI is, let's say, 60,000, and their household expenses are again, let's say, 40-50,000, in that range, and they have a surplus of 30-40-50,000. Now they start feeling, okay, instead of investing this, I have 20-30 lakhs rupees with me. Why not buy a second house? The EMI is manageable, so they commit this, and now their EMI from 50-60,000, it gets increased to 80-90,000. Okay.
Yeah.
For few months, a year, 2 year, it is manageable. But suddenly there is a situation where they are stuck with that real estate, that second real estate. Their EMI is also very high. If their income does not increase, for example, okay, if there is some issue in their job, if there is a sense of that fear that I may lose a job, it's a very bad situation to be in. At that point, they will start feeling, I should not have bought this second house.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think another thing which people don't consider is that even if they have that surplus which they have diverted towards the EMI,
Yeah.
they don't think that in the EMIs they are paying an interest to someone. They can also divert it towards some other products, whatever it is, maybe mutual funds or equities or anything,
Yeah.
where they can earn interest. So instead of paying interest, they can earn interest, and maybe after you accumulating a good amount in by earning interest, they can, if the end goal is again to buy the real estate because it's a second home, they can again buy it. But instead of paying interest for the next 10-15 years, so we have seen with a lot of examples that if someone is taking a loan of, let's say, 80 lakh rupees, and it is for the next 10-15 years, they'll be paying around 80 lakhs more as the interest part. Instead, in the same way, if they are investing that money for the next, if the 70, then 10 to 15 years via the SIP route, they might earn that much interest on that.
Good. So this is I think you are pointing somewhere to the returns. The returns
Yes.
which they earn. So very good point to discuss, because in real estate it's a numbers game.
Yes.
We don't talk about the returns in real estate generally in returns term.
Yeah.
We talk about in absolute terms. So something like, I bought a house for 50 lakhs and in 6 years it has become 1 crore.
Yeah.
So a person feels, oh, 6 years it has got doubled.
Yes.
And he has got a profit of 50 lakhs. This is how people think, but when you convert it into CAGR or returns basis, I think most of the time it will be in the same range of like 10-15%. In that range, it can be lower also.
Yes.
Sometimes it can be high also. So I think in real estate, people generally are very optimistic, over optimistic. Yes, there are some cases where they have got good returns. There are chances that in some cases you can make good returns, but people often don't talk about those cases where the returns are very very bad or very very average.
Yeah, and also nowadays people, yes, there are some areas in every city where you get very good real estate appreciation, but already you will buy the property at a very high price there. And secondly, what I've also seen is nowadays even anybody buys any property anywhere, they feel that every good thing is going to go from there, that the metro is going to go from there, because the projects are being sold like that.
Yeah.
So as you said, it's being very over optimistic about the real estate, and the absolute terms is a very big thing, because when you talk in numbers, in the returns perspective, you will see that it's a 12% return only.
Yeah.
If your money gets doubled in the next 6 years, so wherever you invest, if it is getting doubled, it is a 12% return.
Correct.
So people think that yes, 1 crore became 2 crores in the next 6 years, so it's a very good return. But same place, if they would have invested in anywhere also, they might have, if they get 12%, it would have happened.
Yes.
So yeah, that is a very valid point, that considering if they talk into the returns terms, real estate comes into that section of talking in returns terms, people will be more aware about it and maybe take a better decision in going for a second home especially.
Yeah, so let's again touch base on the returns parts one again, because I want to talk about the asset allocation right now.
Yeah.
We have often seen that most of the people in India right now, big cities, people are buying houses when they are around 30s, like 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. This is the age bracket when they buy the first house. Now, if we check the portfolio of our clients right now, or any person who comes to us, we will often, most of the times it happens that their biggest asset class in their overall portfolio is real estate.
Yes,
Okay.
90% of the cases.
90% of the cases. And it will also continue for a long time. It is
Yes.
not going to happen that within 2-3 years their equity part or their debt part is going to increase.
Yeah.
For a very long time, I would say, for most of the people, real estate is going to be a big part.
Yes.
So now their focus has to be increase their debt portion or equity portion. And we have often seen that debt portion is still fine because they have their ETF,
Yeah.
their PPF is there, some FDs are always there, some money is always there in bank account. So their debt portion is also fine. What is missing is the equity portion. Even right now, people who are aware about mutual fund, they know they should be doing it, they are still very low on the equity side.
Yeah.
Right? So now their focus has to be that once they've got the first home, they are living in it. I think that's a good enough thing to be in for next 10 years, I would say. They should now build their equity part, their debt part, and once they feel that they have enough of equity and debt, and now if they want to increase the real estate part again, then maybe they can increase the second the real estate component.
Yes. And here I would like to add that they should not do this by redeeming the equity and debt.
Yeah,
That is
because-
more important, because what people do is, yes, now they have 1 crore in equity and debt, let's say.
Yeah.
To add in real estate, what they'll do is that 50-60 they'll redeem from here only. What we are talking about is keep the real equity and debt as it is, and then add on to as a real estate.
Yes, so in our terms we call it as liquid
Network.
net worth.
Yeah.
Right? So we see people liquid net worth going up, but once it reaches 40-50 lakhs, 1 crore range, they just destroy that and again shift that money to illiquid debt. So what happens when they reach to the age bracket of 50-55? What happens is they have one house where they are living, they have 1 or 2 real estate which they have done for investment, and their equity component or debt component is still not very high.
Yeah.
It's a sizable number because you have been saving for so long, but what I personally feel is that for a common man, like someone who is not a pro in real estate and a common person, they need one real estate for living, okay?
Yes.
And they need to have a very high liquid net worth. It can be in debt, it can be in equity, wherever it is, but I would say 70-80% has to be a good, liquid net worth.
Also, I think another point which is associated with real estate apart from the asset classes is the risk part also. People, I think, have this misconception that real estate is not risky. Real estate is also very risky. Nobody can guarantee that some project is going to go from there. A lot of times people buy a plot of land outside the city that from here the highway is going to go or anything. But if the government changes and they change the plan, the whole your property value which you might have bought for 20-30 lakhs might go down to in a few days down to half the price, like 20 lakhs.
Yes.
So in real estate, people don't feel the risk is there, but equity is always synonymous to risk. That equity is equal to risk.
That is like people don't feel it is very risky because there is no price fluctuation on a daily basis.
Exactly.
Just like let's say Sensex or mutual fund data they get on a daily basis. If we have a real estate index and we show that how the prices are moving, people will be shocked. There are
Yes.
many cases where prices don't move for 6 months, 1 year, prices decrease.
Yeah.
But people are not ready to see it. It's like they just don't want to. They have taken this that no, real estate is good,
Yes.
right? Because see, over a 10-year period, obviously some real estate, the price will definitely increase. And now the times have also changed. Like if we see the last 30 years, all the cities have developed.
Yeah.
Let's say example of Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Pune, Chennai. There was a time in 90s and maybe 2000 when it was an excellent time. At that time, if someone said I'm buying a house or buying a second house, I would have said just go ahead, right?
Yes,
Because it's a
exactly.
right time. There is
Exactly.
so much. But now we are in 2019. All that amazing appreciation has happened. I'm not saying it will not happen in future. It will still happen, but that time has gone. That golden time has gone.
Yes.
Where you can blindly buy a real estate and it will increase.
Yes, and adding to that point, I think at that time when all this was happening and real estate was in a boom, a lot of people saw that real estate gave a very good return, and maybe at that time they were not able to buy it, or maybe they were young and they were studying and they always got to know that someone made so much money in real estate. Now when they come and when they start doing their jobs, so they expect the same kind of thing. But as we are discussing, that real estate also works in the real estate market also works in cycles.
Yes,
so the boom period is gone. As of now, we think it's not that the prime time to invest in real estate. Yes, in future it might again come that it might become one of the hottest asset classes again. But I think currently it's better to other asset classes are there you can invest and take care of your whatever goals are there. And also I think again coming back to the point that the real estate as an asset class, there are other second home, buying the second home, what you also have to consider is the expenses associated with that you might not get a continuous rental income, you will be paying a high interest on the loan, whatever amount it is. Even if the interest rate is small, you will still be paying a very good, even if you are getting at 8 to 9%, the interest component, the absolute interest which you are paying is very high. You will be incurring maintenance cost every now and then. The headache of buying headache of renting it out to a tenant and finding the right tenant is very
high. It's a high maintenance. It takes a lot of time, energy, your thoughts go into it.
So the expense is very high. If we look at the expense ratio.
And other thing is emotional attachment. It may happen that you buy some second home or second flat for investment purpose, and your plan is that after 5 years, 6 years, 7 years you will get out of it. But once you buy the house, once you do some interiors, once you go there, live there for some time, then your emotional attachment will be there with the house. Yes. If you have your kids who are growing up, this feeling can come that okay, let me not sell it now, my children are growing up, they will be using it.
Yeah.
So eventually if you had bought it for investment purpose, it eventually becomes an asset which is there for consumption.
Yeah.
So I have seen this happening.
Okay. Yes, exactly.
And so these were some of the points which we wanted to discuss. What else you feel we can talk about? So one good point, one point I want to mention is that, see, in stock market, if you talk about equities, one way of investing is long term. You invest and don't do anything. You get good returns. One way of doing is trading, where you buy and sell fast, and the same is applicable in real estate also.
Yes.
So if you are a champion of it, if you have very good knowledge, if you know the game of real estate, if you can research the areas and there are many things, then I think you can do very good. You can make a lot of money. You can invest somewhere at the right time or some untapped opportunities. So chances of making very good profit and very high loss, both of the things are there, right? So if you are that kind of person, then definitely you can do it, okay? But for a common man, I think it's something, one house is enough. That is what I don't have much to say on this.
Yes, I think it's absolutely right. Only one home should be ideally should be there in your portfolio, which
Most
is for
of the
consumption.
I would say that we cannot make the generalized statement as such.
Yeah, ideally, if you are keeping one home, you can obviously, if your life, in your financial life allows it to buy a second home, you can go for it. But for a normal person, if you have bought a home, first try to build good liquid assets and good net worth, which is easily available for you in other asset classes, whichever asset classes they are comfortable with, made equity, debt, or any place else, FDs and all those things. And then after that, keeping that intact, after that they should go for a second home if their financial life allows.
So what you are saying is that one has to think hard.
Yes.
Don't take decision in a hurry. Just don't take it because you have some money there and you feel that ठीक है ये कर देते हैं, because later you may regret about it.
Yes.
So think hard, put all your numbers, see your future cash flows, your priorities in life. Do you want illiquid assets in your portfolio? Is that something what you want, or you want a high liquid net worth? That is your focus. So just think about it, discuss with your family, see the future, imagine the future, and then take the decision.
Exactly. Real estate is a very big decision. It's not a short-term thing which you will buy and it will be all happy-go-lucky after that. it's a very big decision. A lot of money is involved. It can have a very negative impact in your financial life. We have seen a lot of people who are suffering just because of not taking an informed decision of buying the second home. So yeah, please take an informed decision, and whenever you're buying it, research into it. Take your time. There will be people who will tell you that it's a very prime opportunity to buy one house or the other, and things like that. Opportunities will keep on coming in real estate also. You have to see that is it the right time for you to buy or not, and does the financial life allow you or not. If you are looking to that, if it allows you, you go for it. Otherwise, don't go for it.
Correct.
That would be the main.
I would like to end this by sharing one more important point. This is for people who still think that real estate is the best investment. If it is the best investment, if it is surely going to increase and give amazing returns, why are the banks not buying the properties? Why are they giving the money to you to buy the property? If a house is going to double, or the plot is going to double in price in 5-6 years, if it is the most amazing thing to do with your money, why all this HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, all these banks, they have crores and crores of money. They can invest the money and get all the returns, right? Why are they lending you the money that you buy the house and enjoy all the benefits and you pay the interest? Think about this. I'm not making any comment, but this is really something to think about. Okay.
And so one last thing I think what I'd like to mention is that a lot of people also buy a second home just to save tax, which is not the right thing. You see that yes, in the interest part on the loan is tax exempt, and you get exemption on that. But please do understand that you will be paying a very high interest first. You are getting tax exemption on interest only, but you are also paying the interest. So don't buy a second home just to save tax. That is not at all recommended. Never go just to save tax to buy another home. Yeah, so that is the last point I think from my side.
Yeah, so I think that is all. We just wanted to discuss this topic in detail. We wanted to cover many things. If you feel that we have not touched about some topic, please comment in the comment section and let us know, so that next time if we create something, we'll cover that. And if you have any suggestions, please leave it in the comment box. So that was all. Thanks, Sagar, for being part of this discussion, and we want to create more and more discussions on this. Please suggest some of the topics. If you have some suggestions that we can create video on some topic, please leave your comment in the comment box. And one more point, if you have liked this video, if you loved this video, please subscribe to our channel, and please like the video if you have loved it, and if you have not liked it, please dislike, so that we know that you're not liking it. So that was all. You can also visit our website at jagoinvestor.com, that is JAGOINVESTOR, and subscribe to this channel at the end if you have not done it, and please also press the bell icon so that you get notified when we create a new video. So that is all. Thanks a lot.